We'll get everybody together on Monday, tomorrow. We're bringing them all back. We got a big week ahead of us of work before you begin all the celebrations on the weekend. Much more left to do. We've got the National Defense Authorization Act. We have appropriations where we're spending less money and doing it more efficiently and effectively. We have the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act we've got to reauthorize. We've got the Surface Transportation Bill. Many really important pieces of legislation. And, of course, Reconciliation 3.0. I got to have everybody working here on all cylinders, and I'm excited to bring them back.
That was House Speaker Mike Johnson detailing to Maria the legislative week ahead. The House is in session this week, but there's only 12 days left on the legislative calendar before the August recess. Now, the Speaker telling Maria one key piece of legislation will be on the president's desk today. Here's what he told her.
We had a rare bipartisan win with the housing bill, but of course now we're seeing that held up because of the president's threats to not sign it because he wants the Save America bill attached. What are you going to do about it?
Well, I met with the president for a few hours on Thursday in the Oval Office, and we talked about it in great detail. The housing bill really is a Republican priority because it will lower housing costs. We made a lot of promises to the voters, and we're fulfilling those every single day of this Congress. And this is a big part of that because it will increase the availability, the access to more housing, bring down cost, cut regulations, do the things that we know are very important for that market. I'm going to send the bill over to him. It's passed by both chambers. I'm sending it to him on Monday, and it will become law. And I certainly want him to take the biggest, boldest marker that he has and do that big Trump signature proudly on that legislation because we're delivering for the people, and that's what he wants to do.
Joining me now is Florida Congresswoman Cammack. Congresswoman, so the president has said he would not sign the 21st Century Road to Housing Act until the Save America Act is passed. I want to get your thoughts on that. Do you think the president's going to sign this today?
Well, good morning to you. And only the president can answer that question. If he said that he's not going to sign, I know. If he says he's not going to sign the bill until the Save America Act is passed, well, then the Senate better hightail it back to Washington because they are on effectively a sabbatical for the next couple of weeks. And as we know, the House has done their job. Now it's time for the Senate to step up. They need to put the Save America Act on the Senate floor, and there needs to be the use of a talking filibuster so that if anyone objects to it, they need to have their tail on the Senate floor and explaining why they object to it. You can't just simply say, I don't like this bill, and then walk away and go about your day. You need to be out there defending your position because this is what the American people are demanding. Secure elections, citizens-only voting, photo ID.
Yeah, but here, Senator Tom Tillis, Republican, North Carolina, was on a program yesterday. He said the Save America Act getting through the Senate is an impossible task. And we've heard Senate Majority Leader John Thune say he doesn't have the votes, he can't get it through. So if the Senate's not going to move, I mean, what else is there? Can you split it into parts? I mean, is it maybe some of it gets through? Can you rejigger it? It's not a fancy term I'm using there, but, you know, can you take pieces away from it? That's something that's been brought up on the program already.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of things here. One, I think there is an incredible level of frustration coming out of the administration, but also certainly out of the House and out of communities across America, because the Senate hasn't even really tried. They have not put it up for a vote in its entirety. Just purity of purpose, put the dang bill up for a vote. And the nonsensical argument of we just don't have time, with all due respect, they control the clock over there. They can call their members back at any time. And instead, they have got the smell of jet fumes in their nose, and they're out doing Codels and whatever else they're out doing for the next couple of weeks instead of voting on the most important piece of legislation that the American people are demanding today. That's the first thing. The second thing is, yes, we could split that up, and we have in different variations. I think a photo ID requirement is something that would pass. I do think that there is a citizenship test of sorts that you could do where you just have to verify in some capacity that you are in fact a citizen. And the reason, again, this is important is because when you look around the country, 19 states issue driver's licenses to illegals. Of those 19, 15 do automatic voter registration. This is why this bill is so important. And so I think if you were to break it up, vote on each of those issues individually, I think you could get elements, but the key is getting those two items across the finish line. We do have some interesting personalities in the Senate that I think would reject a verification of citizenship. So I think that's why you're seeing this big push to get it across the finish line. The Senate can't have it both ways and say, oh, we're out of time, and that's why we're not going to pass it, but then entertain the idea of breaking it up individually. I think no matter what, they need to get back to D.C. and complete the job that the people are demanding of them.
Well, yeah, certainly ahead of a holiday weekend. Again, the clock's ticking. So, look, I mentioned this earlier, but Save America Act, it's a top priority for President Trump. He's made it very clear that he wants this passed. And you've passed it multiple times, to your point, and then John Thune is saying, look, I don't have the votes. But even some of his colleagues have said otherwise on this show. And Speaker Johnson said he has a plan to get around the Senate 60-vote threshold. Here he is with Maria. Watch.
We're going to pass it again, and this time we're going to try to put it on a reconciliation bill. And the reason that's so important, Maria, as you know, is it prevents the necessity of 60 votes in the Senate. The Democrats want no part of this. And remember, this is very basic stuff. We're just going to make sure you have to have proof of citizenship to register to vote, and then show an ID when you turn out at the ballot box. These are 90-10 public opinion issues, and more than 70% of Democrats want to do it, but not the Democrats in the House and Senate. And so we've got to go around them. And I told Anna Paulina Luna and a couple other colleagues, I said, it makes no sense for us to shut down our good work in the House just because Senate Democrats refuse to do the people's will. We've got a lot more to do. We've got to keep it going.
I want to get to the Farm Bill with you, but real quick on that point, Congresswoman, your reaction.
Absolutely. The speaker's 100% correct. This bill can go on reconciliation, which allows us to bypass the 60-vote threshold in the Senate. It just is a simple majority. Okay. The way you structure it is going to be important because in the House, you have to avoid fatalities. And then in the Senate, you have to make it so it passes the six-part bird bath, as we call it. It is possible. We have extensive experience in getting things through on reconciliation. We did this in the One Big Beautiful Bill, the Working Families Tax Cut last year, which we're coming up on the one-year anniversary of. And we know that we have the path forward. Now the question is, are Senate Republicans and Democrats willing to tank an entire affordability agenda over citizenship and requirements to vote? Mm-hmm. I don't want to be a senator who stands up and says, yeah, I don't think that that's important enough, so I'm going to make sure everything else goes down.
Yeah.
It's putting them on the record.
Yeah, no, I agree. Real quick, before you go, President Trump has asked Congress for more than $11 billion in aid for farmers. That's more than $1 billion that's going to go directly to farmers from your state of Florida. They were really hit by these winter storms last year and this year. You're sitting on Agriculture Committee. I just wanted to get really quick your thoughts on the impact of that funding. I mean, how much would that mean to these farmers in your state?
I mean, it's incredibly important because, as many people know, Florida feeds 193 million Americans every single winter. With over 300 specialty crops, us in Florida, we are a massive agricultural juggernaut. And those freezes, those historic freezes, cost our industries $3.6 billion. So this is going to go a long way in just getting people some sort of relief, because there has been a tremendous pressure put on our producers, from high input costs to challenges that are outside of their control. And we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to support our farmers, ranchers, and producers, because this is a national security threat. And in agriculture, particularly here in Florida, once that operation goes under, it becomes a housing development, and no one wants the final crop to be a neighborhood. We have to protect our agricultural assets. This is absolutely a matter of national security.
No, Russ Vought had said this. He said that $10 billion of this aid would be allocated to row and specialty crop farmers for crops planted in 2026. To your point, that's a great way to characterize this. Nobody wants to see a family farm turn into a housing development, Congresswoman. And again, that money in particular, because you were so hard hit in Florida, as were some other states, that money could just go so far to help these people that are struggling. If the midterm message, Congresswoman, is about affordability, this is the way to address affordability in the economy for these farmers.
Absolutely. And the thing that I always challenge people is our producers, our farmers and ranchers, they don't get to control the price of the food that ends up in the grocery store. There's a long chain between the field and the grocery store that they have zero control over. So they continue to absorb costs as it goes along, but all those little steps in between continue to add costs, which ultimately make it more expensive at the grocery store. But if we cut off the source and we're reliant on our food supply for the nation by adversaries and allies alike, it's a pretty precarious situation to be in. It's like being in the 70s with the oil supply. We have to maintain our domestic production, not just for our heritage, for our working families and our communities, but also for our national security.
Always a pleasure to talk with you. Congresswoman Kat Cammack, great to have you.